Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you all the optimal solutions for layers of this form, where you have half of a diagonal layer. So basically you have two adjacent corners which are wrong relative to each other, and these other corners can be everywhere. I'm gonna assume that no corner, that we don't have 3/4 of a diagonal layer. Now this set is kind of advanced, so I would recommend first watching the videos about adjacent and opposite layers. So layers like this and layers like this before watching this. I'll have links in the description for videos from Julio and Elias about those. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time on YouTube that these have been shown. So I'm going to start with cases where both corners are in the back. So I'm going to be keeping the layer on yellow with these two in the back, and we'll start with both corners on top in the back. So this is case number 1. So we have these two kind of in upright position, and of course this is the mirror of itself, so you can also use the mirror. One way to do this is you bring this corner down, and then, so if you were to insert this corner, you would have this case. And this case can be solved by inserting this corner here and then doing one move. But if you notice, you have a cancellation. So here, instead of inserting the corner, you can go the other way, and then you have a 3-mover. These are the next two cases where you have this pattern here, and of course this has a mirror. And the way you solve these cases is you take the oriented corner and you solve it relative to this in 2 moves. So I'll do this, and then you get this case, which is 3 moves long. This is just the mirror, so we take this and go here, and then you do this. I should probably learn a better way to do this, because this is actually a bit more awkward than the other one. But yeah, also if you come up with ways to execute the layer or other solutions, post them in the comments. I will have a pinned comment with all your suggestions. Okay, these are the next two cases. So you have this sort of bad pattern on top of these. These cases really suck. Like, I really hate them. Maybe you can find a better way to do these. I choose these ones because it's easier to look them. I don't know, maybe there are better ways to do them. I checked. I found this like a year ago, and I think I actually checked all of them, and these were the best. But I should recheck those. Basically, the way to do this is you put this corner here. So you assume this is solved. You put this corner here, and then you have this 3-mover. And same thing for this. This is actually like a bit easier to execute, because you do that, and then 2 moves. Yeah. These are the next two cases. So here you have headlights in the back, and here you have a chameleon in the back. Let's start with this one. This one is actually very easy, because this is actually, you can do one move to solve one of these corners, and then you have this 3-mover. This case is a bit tricky. So where you have headlights, the first move actually doesn't solve any corner. You just put it here. So I'm keeping these two here. Put it here. You solve this one, and then you have this case. And there is a video of Julio explaining these cases, and which I'll also put in the description. And to solve this, you actually don't want to do this. You want to do this. So let me show you the full layer again. So you do some sort of R, the little r, little b. I guess you can do rotation. I guess it's a little b, big B, and then R prime, big R prime, R, B prime, and so something like this. These are the last two cases in the set, and so we have basically this sort of pattern here, and of course these are mirrors of each other. And so the way you do this, if you insert this corner here, you get this 4-mover and it cancels. So you can do this. And here similarly, you can basically insert this, and then for this particular case, I actually prefer doing this, but here I prefer to cancel because it actually flows really well. Okay, so now we're going to do the cases where both corners are at the front. So let's start with this case. You have uplights here, and basically what you do is you this move to put these corners here, and then you have this three mover. And this three mover is actually really easy because you just insert this corner, insert that. So it's actually like a really easy case. So these are our next two cases. So you have headlights and chameleon. I'll show this one first. This is a four mover, and it's one of my favorite cases. Actually, it's probably like it's my favorite case out of these, maybe except for the three mover. The way this works is you take this corner out, you insert that, and then this and this. So it's like little r, big R prime, big B prime, little R prime. And it's so damn good. And also it's really easy one look pattern. I'm not really talking too much about one look pattern, but here we basically have an H pattern. This corner goes F2, this corner goes R2. So, and I actually used this in one of my NRs. Well, technically not. I set up to this in one move and it cancelled. But yeah. This case is a bit more annoying. I think this is a fine mover. You can do this and set up to that, but the way I do this is I do from here R2, big R, R, and then big R, big B prime. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. I don't quite understand. I mean, I guess this case coming out like that, but I don't really understand that. I kind of learned these two. I kind of both learned as sort of algorithms. Yeah. So, as you can now see, these are mirrors, but I don't do the mirror solutions. So for this case, I kind of do something similar though, because in all of them you want to insert this one first, and then you want to solve this case. And as I said before, when you have this lefty case, I prefer doing it like this. But when you have this, I kind of prefer doing it like this. And so I keep it from here and do like a B and a B. And then you insert in 3 moves. Alright, so for these two cases, so you have this pattern here. And this one is a bit easier to understand if you watch like way ahead in the video, this case, which is a 4 mover. Basically, this is the first move. So you kind of put this one like that, and you kind of insert this backwards. And then this is a 4 mover. And the reason it's a 4 mover is that you can take this corner out. It's very, very difficult to see. And then you do that. So it's like this. And this is similar, this is just a mirror, so you do that, B, R. So now you have these two cases. And again, I don't really do mirrors, but they're really similar, because the first move is always to insert this one here, so that you got a 4 mover. And when it's from this side, I prefer doing this. When it's from the other side, I prefer inserting this one first. So this concludes the 2 corners at the front, and now we're going to do corners in the sides. Okay, so now we have uplights on the sides, and now this ones are pretty bad. I believe these are 6 movers. Yeah. The way you do this is you insert this in one move, like that. So you kind of do this. And then basically you could insert this and have this 4 mover, or you can do the 4 mover first. So do this and then do this. So here it's similar. You would do here, I finger trick it like this. So R prime, and then it's big B, small R prime, big B prime, small R, and then B prime, like that. Pretty terrible case. Okay, in this case we have chameleons on the sides. So you have this half of the diagonal layer plus these. Here I actually start from here. And basically you do the stupidest thing you can ever think and just insert this here in 3 moves. And you get magically a 2 mover. And it's actually really easy to finger trick. This one is a bit tricky to finger trick, but it's also not that bad. Again, you insert this, and then you do that. Okay, the moment we all been waiting for, the 3 movers. So yeah, basically you have that lights, and you insert this corner in 1 move, and then you insert these 2. Basically, again from this side, you insert this corner to here, and then 2 moves. Okay, so for these cases, where you have this sort of thing here, which looks like a 3 mover, but it's not. This one I can't actually show this, because when I show this case, you set it to this. So you kind of insert these 2 together like that, and then 1 move. Or you can think of it as doing this into this case, and then canceling. Okay, these are trash cases. This looks like 2 movers. This looks like this 2 mover here. It's trash. This is a 5 mover, and it's a pretty bad 5 mover. What you do is you misorient this. And then you kind of can do that. I kind of learned to do this like this. So you just misorient this, put this here, and then you have a 3 mover. And here the same thing. You misorient this, put this here, 3 mover. Okay, now we have these cases where you have this sort of ugly pattern. And the way you do this, so you could do 1 move into this, but this is a 6 mover, and there is a 5 mover. Basically, instead of inserting this corner here in 1 move, you insert them in 3 moves by doing here, here, and here. And then you magically get 2 mover. Same thing here, you insert that, 2 moves. So here's another set of cases where I don't use the mirror. So we still have the ugly pattern. You'll notice that the difference here is that you cannot insert this corner while replacing another one here. So the way I do this case is, so if you have this on the right, by the way, I don't do the mirrors here. If you have this on the right, I do these 2 moves. So basically insert this and put it twisted, and then doing this 4 mover. If you have this case, what I do is I put this here, and then for this one, I just put it down like that. So I reorient it. I misorient it, and then I do this case. Okay, so now you have these 2 cases here where, wait a second. Okay, so you have these 2 cases where these 2 kind of point to the front, I guess. This is actually pretty straightforward. You just insert this in 1 move. You insert this in 1 move like that, and you got a 3 mover. Same thing here. Inserting 1 move, get 3 mover. Yet another pair of cases where done to the mirrors. So here I have these pointing in the back. The difference here is, again, something very minor, because basically I insert this, and then you get this 4 mover. And it's from this. If it's from this side, I prefer doing it like that. If it's from the other side, I really prefer doing it like this, and you see how good the execution actually is. So the next cases are going to be corners, both corners in the bottom. And there's actually only 4 cases. So let's start with these 2. So with the Camille and the U case. The Camille is actually, these are both 6 moves by the way. The Camille is actually pretty straightforward. You kind of insert this one there in 2 moves. And then you have this case. So you just do it like this. So it kind of looks like, so it's pretty fast. This was a bit more difficult. So here it actually just tell you moves. Big B, small r prime, big B prime, and then you get this case. So again, yeah, the U case is not particularly fantastic. So for the sledge and hedge cases, there are a few options. One thing you can do is to immediately solve this corner relative to this, so you do that, and you get a 2 mover. One other thing you can do is do this move, and then you get this. And here, same thing, you can either do this, and you get a 2 mover, or do this, and this. So now the next cases are going to be cases where one of the corners is oriented, is in the bottom face and has the yellow pointing towards the front. So when the other corner is here, you would do, so basically you can put this here, and basically you have this pattern. So basically it's a cancellation into this if you do the second way. So basically you do this, you bring it down, and then you have this case, which you can solve in 3 moves. So it looks like this. And here's the same thing, so here, 3 mover. So when the corner is on the side, so basically this kind of looks like a 4 mover if these two were solved. Basically you put this like here to create a communion case, and you solve it as I showed before. And you can do multiple ways, I guess. Same thing, you go here. You can choose to do here or here, whatever works for you. So now these two cases are pretty tricky. This look like 3 movers if you wanted to create a diagonal layer, which you don't. And so for these cases, you basically kind of insert this but cancel into an R2, and then you do R prime here, here, here. So I'll show you again because that's very tricky. You do R2 prime, big R prime, small r, and then you do 2 mover. And here's the same thing. So here we do big R prime, small r, big R prime, BR. Okay, next case is we're gonna have the corner at the front. So when you have this case, which kind of looks like a 4 mover, you would insert this corner here in 2 moves and get a 3 mover. Same thing here, insert this corner into the oriented corner in 2 moves and get a 3 mover. So when you have this sort of ugly pattern that looks like a 4 mover to a layer, basically this is like this with the first move done. So basically you would take this corner, put it like that, and then solve this 3 move layer. It's very tricky, so I'll show you better on this side. So basically you don't want to take this corner, you take this corner here, then you insert this 2 moves. These 2 cases are the inverses of the other ones, so you have this pattern, and actually we already saw these because a few cases are to this. You put this to the side and then you do the 3 mover. Put this to the side, do the 3 mover. So next are going to be the cases where the bottom corner has the yellow facing to the side and the other corner is not in the bottom. Okay, so when the top corner is here, so basically this looks like a 4 mover like that. Basically, this is 1 move to this or to this. And actually for one looking purposes, it's kind of useful to consider this because it's just a sledge on the back. But yeah, you just do 1 move and then you have this case from the beginning of the video. And same thing here, you just insert, you insert these at the same time, B prime. When this is facing to the side and this looks like a 4 mover like this, you insert that there in 2 moves and then you get this case. Same thing here, insert that there in 2 moves and do a 3 mover. So for these cases, I mean, this is actually pretty straightforward. You insert this corner here and you do this 4 mover. The thing that's notable about this is about when looking, all centers stay in the same place. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, last 3 pairs of cases, getting towards the end. So, when you have these cases that look like 3 movers, learn these, please. These are really good. These are actually really good. You just solve these 2 cases, these 2 corners here, like that. 1 move. I'll show you again. You basically do this into this case, you can think of that. And then you insert that, 1 move. And this one is also really good. You just do that. It's a mirror. Yeah. Please learn these. These are really good. When you have this headlights here, you can do it in 2 ways. You can either do this instead to the previous case. Or you can do first these two like this, and this is still a one mover. Same thing here. I really prefer doing this way so that it's kind of finger tricky. Right, last two cases. Alright, we end with two very boring cases. So yeah, this kind of ugly pattern. But here you can actually insert that here. And you do, and you got a 4 mover. Same thing here. You insert that, 4 mover. Yeah,